Hi everyone, a very good morning. So today is February 4th, 2025, and it's 10:35 a.m. So I was wondering if we could start the series known as the detachment series. And how come I reached at this conclusion or decision or whatever you want to call? Because yesterday I was feeling a really high surge of emotion towards my responsibility, towards my family, and what we normally perceive as what we are meant to do, and how at the same time it was also, in a way, curtailing my, I won't say freedom, but my sense of liberation. Like I was feeling, oh, I'm supposed to do this also, that also, this, that, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. But then at the end, who am I to do anything? You know? I'm not running this world. So why am I worrying so much? But when we come into this human body, there is this sense in us that we want to be control of everything. But then that sense is not from the perspective of a pride that I am all in all. No. That sense of we want to be in control of everything is just because what we perceive as something right, and we think that is the absolute right, but that it is not. So, without complicating it much, I'm going to dive into today's topic, which is what is detachment, and is detachment a good thing? Before going any further, I would just let me tell you, I have divided this whole detachment series into 4 or 5 parts, which will curtail what is detachment. Is detachment a good thing, which is the topic for today? Second part would be how to detach from overwhelming situations. Some exercises will be included in it. Third is how to detach from people around you, toxic as well as non toxic, whom you perceive as non toxic. But again, if they were non toxic, you would not be willing to detach. Fourth being dealing with the guilt which comes while detaching. And the fifth one, which maybe I address it in today's topic, or maybe not. So, from what situations should we exactly detach ourselves? As well as, are they only negative situations or even the positive ones after a point? So maybe we let's keep that as the fifth part only. Let me not mix it up. So you will be getting five different videos, and I will link all of them in the description as and how they'll keep coming out. But to start with, just with today, what is detachment? And is detachment a good thing? So let me first understand, when you are going on the path of detachment and you really want to detach someone, it's very important to remember that you're not detaching because they are inferior to you or someone is inferior. With people in respect, I'm talking, or some situation which has happened is wrong or bad in itself. No, you are detaching just because you can attain a sense of peace within you. And if we see that detachment is actually the law of nature, there is only a particular time when the womb is, when the fetus or when the baby is in mother's womb. After that, it detaches. Are you understanding? It cannot be that for infinite time the baby will be still in mama's womb. No, it's 9 months and it will detach. And in those 9 months, it's never in the phase, in the form what it was the previous month. There's always a growth. In the similar manner, if someone loves spring so much or someone loves winter so much, know that it never lasts. There's always a cycle. Winter turns to spring, spring again will turn to winter. You love partying at night, you love nights, but that also will never be always be there. That will also turn to morning. Then why, as we, excuse me, just a moment. Sorry, I'm back. So, yeah. So, I was saying when we are partying at night, that will also turn to morning. So, why is it that when we are in our society or in our environment, why do we perceive as something to be this is it? You know? And to start with what detachment is not, what I was saying earlier, it is not looking down on others. You're not doing it to be superior, you're doing it just to move a bit ahead for your freedom. Second is detachment is not indifference. Please understand. If you're thinking I'll detach and then nothing will affect me, I have become the Superman. No, things will still affect you. But your perception and your understanding towards those things would genuinely decrease. I mean, the intensity of feeling would decrease. Those perceptions won't decrease, pardon me. And the third thing is detachment is not being dismissive of others' feelings. Let's say something has happened with you, or with you, yeah. You are absolutely okay. Okay, it happened. I take it. It's fine. But for someone else, it would be a very big thing. And for you, it may not be. Then lashing out, getting angry, or not acknowledging what they are feeling is also a sense of pride. But please understand them feeling that way is because they are operating from their level of understanding and their level of consciousness. It has nothing to do with you. But the key is not to be dismissive of that. See it, embrace it, accept it, but at the same time, don't punish yourself also, saying that why are you not feeling the way they are feeling? Yes, you are not. Your understanding has been enhanced. You're operating at a different paradigm now, and there's nothing wrong in it. It- because a lot of times when detachment happens and the person who's not used to it, always this doubt lingers. Why am I being so detached? Am I a bad person? Oh, they will not let accept it, or that will happen. Or maybe this is just an illusion, this is not who I am in reality. No, you've just shifted a step higher. So, these were my three disclaimers in advance, like what detachment is not. Now, coming on to what detachment is. So, detachment, according to me, is living with the awareness every second that this is not it. Like what has happened, this is not final. This will move, this will go. So, Nichiren Daishonin, who's propounded Nichiren Buddhism, he says everything is transient, nothing is permanent. And this is the law of birth and death. So, Whenever you are going through an overwhelming situation, or you've seen a failure, or someone really loved one next to you passes away, or you're fearful how my rest of my life will go, please understand that this is not it. What I am feeling and what I'm perceiving is not the absolute truth. The conflict I'm having with someone is also not reality. So, detachment is being free, even if you perceive yourself in chains. Mind you, there are no chains in this world. It's you who make the chains. Everything which exists is nothing but a mental chain. Being victim is also being in a mental chains. And we'll talk more in another video. I guess this is not the right place. Being detached is not letting your being affected when something happens contrary to your expectations. Being detached is not going with the flow with which the rest of people are going, with which the common mass is flowing. Again, don't take it as a moment of pride that no, I am different. Then you're not detached. Then you are too attached to your sense of being detached. Detachment is not being attached to your sense of detachment again. So, every time when we want to improve ourselves, we are working on a self growth journey, we are working on our individual wellness or beingness, it's very important to be mindful that you also do not get attached to that idea. Because the moment you get attached to that idea, your downfall starts. But again, no one is perfect here. I have gotten attached to the idea 1,000 times and I have gotten detached again 1,000 times. It's a daily endeavor. I'm not some enlightened being. And I feel enlightenment is also a myth. I mean, again, a topic for the next video. I digress a lot. I won't do that now. I'll try not to do that. So, coming on to the point, is detachment a good thing? Let me say, why do we not reframe the question? Rather than saying if detachment is a good thing or a bad thing, why don't we see it as, is detachment necessary? Is detachment needed? And it absolutely is needed. Because when you see something is good and bad, again you are wallowing in the waters of duality. For someone, detaching from something is good, and someone will say, you, how can you detach? Don't you know anything? Don't you have responsibility? Don't you have emotions? Are you a narcissist if you have detached? There's so much of backlash. So let's change the narration in our minds. Don't say it's a good thing or a bad thing, but is it needed? And it is. Because every elevation requires separation. You cannot climb a step higher. You cannot get into the first floor of your house if you do not detach and climb the stairs from the ground floor. It's like you want to do a lot in life sometimes, move ahead, but you're still attached to your past. Sometimes you are attached to your mistakes, you're attached to the so called, we say, Mo Mamta in Hindi. For those of who you are Indians, you understand what I'm saying. But for the rest, too much attached in the, I don't like, what do we call Mo in English? Attachment only we call in a way. So attached to your idea of fulfilling the emotional needs of other people. And I have been there. I've been there when I've been just filled others' emotional needs. And that made me realize the futility of it after a certain period of time. So, back to my point, when we say, is it a needed thing? Yes, because elevation always requires separation. And then that depends on you if you want to elevate. Some people are just happy. They are living with a certain mindset of being born the way they die. Okay for them. But then I also know no one would be attracted to this video if they would want to live that way the way they were born. If someone is opening this video, I'm sure you have had that, even if it's just a minute tinge of feeling that no, I'm not, this is not it. I don't want to be born and I don't want to be a prisoner of my circumstances. So, this video is for them. So, it is very much needed. We've explored what it is not, we've explored what it is. We have seen the importance of staying humble even in detachment. And we'll continue with the series. Goodbye for now.